Ke what up, guys? Your boy Goddard and Jack Game on Coming and Queens and Pujang spinning streets and Tekang back at it with another video. So this might be one of the most important videos that you might want to watch before you start your small business or are heading over into the business space. So I just want to speak about some of the few mistakes or some of the things that I did wrong in my business when I started back in 2016, back in 2017, somewhere back there. So I wrote a few things down because I'm trying to tame my mind, because everything will be just all over the place if I just speak from my mind. So I just want to simplify the work for me and just speak from what I wrote. Okay, so a bit of a backstory. I started my journey with business. Okay, it didn't start in 2016. It started a bit earlier on. There was a few businesses here at home, so I think I got my foot into the business space back then. But then I want to speak about what I experienced in my own business. So back in 2016, I was still in boarding school. I met up with a friend. He was my friend, and then he started this cool cap business, and I kind of wanted a piece of that pie. So I asked him how much he was selling the caps for, and he told me he was selling them for 100 rands. And I was like, how about I sell the caps for 150, and then for every sale that I make, I give you back your 100 rand, and I get to keep the 50 rands. He was quite open to the idea, liked it, and yeah, he said, let's do it. But I quickly realized that my friend was a bit far from me. When I went back home back in early November 2016, when I went back home, I started to realize that my friend is a bit far away, and for me to get inventory from him, it was gonna take a lot more money and a lot more time, and it was just gonna stress me out. So that business didn't go as we planned. We just kept quiet and went our separate ways. I don't know where his business is right now. We lost contact a long time ago. So now it's mid-November 2016, and I'm planning on doing this thing on my own. So I wanted to establish my own market where I'm from, because my friend had his own market where he was from. So I wanted to have my own market in where I was from. There was already a lot of people who were selling these caps around, selling the types of caps that I was making. Local brands. There were some local brands who were already doing this thing, who have been here for a lot longer than I was. So I was kind of stepping in a saturated market around my area, and I had no idea about the customer base. I had no idea what my target market was going to be. I was just going in the business blindly, which, now that I'm looking back, it kind of worked out. I just didn't do it the right way for me to keep sustaining the business. Okay, cool. So it's now mid-November 2016. I'm looking for a name. I come up with a few names, and I ended up sticking with Coconut. I don't know how that name came about. I do not know. I remember, I think it was through an ad where I saw some tropical trees and I thought of a coconut. But yeah, the idea is just all over the place. I'll try and remember what the exact steps were, because I think that is very important for the business. But yeah, more on that on another video. So now I stick to the name Coconut. Got the business registered, and yeah, everything was quite going well. So now I have no money, I have nothing. I have no money, no marketing plan, nothing. I just want to go into this business. I just want to start. I just want to start. I don't know where the money is going to come from. So I got a few private investors, and by private investors, I mean I got my family. So they hooked me up with 1,700 as a startup capital. And what I did was I went to Joburg, and I sourced some caps, which is not the right way to go. Maybe it's not the right way to go for the idea that I had, but I had to start somewhere. So I went to Joburg to source some caps, and I have one of the caps here with me, but this isn't the original design, the embroidery. I think this was the third design. But yeah, this was the type of cap, and I was shocked when I saw this on my wardrobe. I was like, whoa, I still have this. But this was the type of caps that we were producing when we started. I know that I didn't want to go through that route. I wanted to create my own cap from scratch, like with materials that I sourced somewhere in Egypt. I wanted that type of story. I'd be like, okay, so if someone came to me and be like, what's different about your cap, and I would tell them that this material is sourced from Egypt, the caves in some caves in the Maldives. You see that type of story. So I wanted my own material, my own, but I couldn't do it then because I didn't have a lot of money and I didn't know about the business. I didn't research. I did nothing. So I got the caps. I think I bought 20 caps, got them embroidered, and started selling. So what I did was I took pictures on my phone and posted them on Facebook, and that's how I started selling the caps. Got a few models, started taking pictures, and I started marketing on Facebook. What's it called? Through Facebook ads, and we started selling. Shout out to my friend who would come and just buy like a large stock. Sometimes we would buy like 20 cabs, sometimes we would want like 10 cabs. So he kept my business going through him, through buying. But yeah, that guy kept the business alive, to a point where I felt like it's now going well. I would want to expand. So with the idea of me wanting to expand, I started to want to create t-shirts. So now I have a plan. I'm going to start making t-shirts, and I'm gonna, but the problem is, again, I didn't go and source my own material. To start making these t-shirts. What I did was I went to a popular chain store, bought their t-shirts, removed their tags, and printed the t-shirts as my own, which was also an incorrect move. I feel like if you want your brand to stay and you want your brand to be known as a quality brand, you should be in charge of, okay, maybe not everything, but be in charge of most of the things that associate your brand with quality. I don't know if that's making sense, but yeah. So with me starting to create these t-shirts, I wanted a certain type of print. So I took my t-shirts to the mall, went to the mall, told the guy this is the design I wanted printed on this t-shirt. The guy did exactly that. But little did I know that there are certain types of prints that do not stick on certain types of materials. That was the problem. And I only discovered this later when they told me, Hori, the type of print that you use is suitable for polyester. It's not suitable for cotton. And yeah, so now I'm having this problem where, okay, now I printed some t-shirts, but I can't sell them because when I went through quality control, I found out that this material washes off after a few washes. It gets burnt by the sun, it changes color, and that is a mess. That is a product that you wouldn't want to sell to people. Because I remember there was this one time, it was with a different printer this time. This guy, he had this reflective material, and people fell in love with what they saw. Because I made one for myself, and people fell in love with it. I created 2 for my clients, and they came back to me and they were like, this material is washing off when we wash it. And ladies and gentlemen, if you sell something to someone, you don't want them coming back with a negative review. You want them to come back with a positive review. So, but they didn't mind. They knew that I was a startup, and obviously there were going to be a few mistakes there and there. And then they just told me, Hori, when you get the proper printer, let us know so that we can buy it, because we really love this type of material. Unfortunately, there was no one else who was doing it, or to my knowledge, there was no one who was doing it around my area. Some of the caps I was selling, most of the caps I was selling, but some of them I was giving them away. And this is how I was giving them away. People would come to me and say, I want a cap, but I will pay month end. I want a cap, I will pay after 2 months. And ladies and gentlemen, that is not a good business practice. That is an incorrect way of doing business. Like, some people will never come back. They will just take your stuff, and they will never pay. They will just buy us on nyamalala thin air. So I ended up spending a lot. When I was doing the calculations, I think I was running at a loss of I think it was around between, if not, because I remember there was a big figure. If it was not 6,000, I think it was 4,000. When I calculated the amount of stuff that I gave away, through maybe let's say it was some negative investments, giving them away, because there were some positive investments. Maybe I thought it was positive investment, but maybe it was not. um there were materials that I gave away when I was through maybe shoots, and the models, I would give them the t-shirts, I would give them the caps, and I would give them wabona, things like that, to go and promote. But unfortunately, some of these people didn't promote, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault. Honestly speaking, it's not their fault. It was my fault. I was supposed to promote the brand myself, or maybe get someone who's knowledgeable about marketing and started marketing the brand for me, instead of just hoping that someone would just go and market this thing that they don't even know to other people. So yeah, I lost about 6,000. Yeah, and then, but yeah. Okay, so now this was when things started to pivot. Abona. So now I got invited to a film festival. Think it was back in 2017, late 2017. I got invited to a film festival, and I was so excited for the opportunity. I don't want to lie. I took all the money that I had. I stocked a lot of inventory. I stocked. Now I think I made some golf t-shirts and more caps. So these new golf t-shirts were like a new range that I wanted to start to push. So venturing into an unknown market, which I didn't do research about, which I know nothing about. So what I did, I went back to Jozi again. I stocked some golf t-shirts, stocked black and white golf t-shirts. I can't remember. I think maybe pink, a few blue. I can't remember. But yeah, all my money went down the drain. All the money, because I didn't only do that. I had to fund the marketing material that I needed, because I remember I went to buy these boxes and I branded them just to fill up my space, just to make the space look busy, and yeah, basically provide everything that my business needed to be able to sell on that day. Cool. So now I got invited to this film festival. I bought everything. Now when we got to the film festival, they gave us a corner. They gave us a corner in the shadow realms, far away from where the people were walking. It was not actually that far, but it was not where the people were walking. So if people wanted to come see our products, they would have to detour. They would have to walk from their path, basically walk out of their way, come to us. And the thing is, I didn't market myself as someone who was going to the film festival. I don't know if that makes sense, but I didn't market that I was going to be at the film festival. So the thing is, with people who are going to a certain type of event, they are going to that event and that event only. I don't know if you understand, but let me make an example. People who are going to a comedy show, they are going there for a comedy show and they're going there to laugh. You cannot expect people to laugh at some other type of event. Maybe it's a serious event, maybe it's a corporate meeting or something like that. Maybe some jokes that you might say on a corporate meeting might not land the same way as you throwing the same joke on a comedy show. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, I'm trying to get somewhere here. So what I'm saying is, the people who were going to the film festival were going there to watch the films, and maybe buy some snacks, because they were hungry, because there were some stalls there, people were selling some snacks and all of that. So maybe buy some snacks. So these people might have the 50 rands to buy some snacks, but they might not have the 180 to buy my golf t-shirt. a golf t-shirt from someone who has just started a brand that they know nothing about. So I didn't think about that back then. I thought maybe people would come and someone would buy. I had big dreams. I had big plans. I thought maybe 20 people were going to come and buy. At least if 20 people came to buy, maybe at the least 5 people. But ladies and gentlemen, that did not happen. So I remember there was a guy who came to us at our stall on the film festival. He came and he said, "Why would I buy your brand?" I didn't know what to answer. He said, "Why would I buy your brand that is simple?" Okay, it was simple golf t-shirts, simple caps. That was simple, and I can basically get the same thing from a reputable brand. I can get the same thing from another local brand, from his own kasi. That's what he said. And the argument here was not that the clothing was simple, but was rather who is selling the clothes, who is selling the clothes. So it's about the name brand. It's about the weight the brand holds. Because if we talk about simplicity, there are a ton of brands that are doing the same thing that is very simple, but you still buy from them simply because they are a reputable brand and they've been there for a long time, and maybe they're close to your heart. Maybe you associate the type of lifestyle, maybe you associate the type of clothes with the type of lifestyle that they portray on their ads and all of that. So it's not a matter of the clothes are simple, but rather an argument of who's making the clothes. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Hear me out. So, ladies and gentlemen, on that film festival night, we sold nothing. Not even a simple cap. We sold nothing. I think we had 3 people come and see our stall. They were just, "Oh yeah, it's nice," and just walked away. And yeah, we sold nothing. The brand awareness goal was not reached. People didn't see us. We fell into the shadows that night. Picked away our things, went back home in shame. Now I'm home and I have this inventory of stock that I cannot sell. I cannot sell these golf t-shirts because I don't know who to market them to. Let alone, I don't even have the marketing budget. Mali peli, the money is finished. Like, where is the everything going to come from? So I ended up giving these golf t-shirts away because they were staying. They stayed there for a long time. I couldn't sell them. I had no money. These caps were not selling anymore. I think my friends, maybe the market got too oversaturated. He couldn't sell the caps anymore, so I couldn't get sales from him anymore. So ended up giving these caps away so that people can market them for me, of which, think about it, if I go and give someone my cap and be like, "Go and market this thing for me," that person will probably take that cap and wear it once, because it's fashion. It's not I don't know how to put it, but it's not something. I'm not paying them to do this, so they're not obligated to do this task for me. If they do it, then toodles to them, but they don't. That for them, they don't have to. Maybe they like it, but yeah, and they would probably like. I've been wearing this thing for. I was wearing this thing back then, and no one would come to me and ask me, "Or what's this thing?" About no one. So why would I expect? So ended up giving them away, thinking, or people are gonna come back to me with orders. Now I'm gonna get customers who are gonna give me their money first, and I'm gonna make stuff for them. But ladies and gentlemen, that didn't happen. The business came down crashing. The initial goal of the business was I wanted to buy a camera. I wanted to raise funds to buy a camera, but I ended up being in the business longer, because I couldn't keep money. The money would come in and it would go out. It would come in and go out. I ended up not reaching my goal. The business came down crashing. I still remained with the name because luckily I wanted to register the name as Coconut Clothing, but a friend of mine told me that that is not a good idea. You'd rather register it as Coconut something else, because what happens if you want to start to make other things, and which was a good idea. So I still remained with the name, and I continued doing photography, videography, and all the other things that came with the media space. So I'll do a part 2 of this video where I explain how I went back into the clothing business in 2022 and what I did differently, and why also that business also failed. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've mentioned everything that I wanted to mention. If I forgot something, I'll mention it in the next video, but hopefully this video helps you out. Hopefully you don't get to make the same mistakes that I made. I think that's it. It's your boy Koraza Njai Game and Coming Queens and Pitching Spinning Streets and Like Signing out.